Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome once again to Nerd Week Live, the show in which we, the folks at Nerd Caliber, bring to you nerd news that has happened over the past week since our last show last Tuesday. I'm Rodney Brown. I'm the editor-in-chief of Nerd Caliber, and I am right now adjusting my mic, which is a little bit peaky. There we go. The editor-in-chief of Nerd Caliber, a first-person shooter on Facebook and Instagram as a cosplay photographer, Burley_adopter on the Twitters. That's where it is, and a couple of other places. I will beg your indulgence. I am trying a little bit of a new lighting setup here, and I'm still not quite adjusted right in. Getting a lot of hot spots. If I, wouldn't have such a shiny head, that might not happen. But we'll see whether or not I like the way this works. Already in the chat, we have Luminous. Luminous, welcome to the chat. Hello, all. I want a second season of Paper Girls. I'm really kind of surprised with the response that it's gotten, at least critically, that they haven't already announced a second season. I mean, maybe they're waiting until the whole first season runs. Whether or not it holds up the viewership that it has. Excuse me. Good start. Luminous. I look fabulous. Yeah, okay, thanks. Anyway, before we get started on tonight's show, let's get our first promotional piece out of the way. And that is to promo our presence here on Twitch. On your screen right there is the URL twitch.tv/nerdcaliber. That's where you can find us. If you have a Twitch account, we'd absolutely love to have you join us there, become a subscriber, become a follower. And we're trying to build up that viewership like we have on Facebook Live and on YouTube, which is where we're streaming, also on all of our shows. So let's get right into the very first topic. And, just from a personal standpoint, I'm very sad that I keep having to do these week after week. But the latest news is that the actress Anne Heche has died following a car accident on August 5th in which she ran into a home. On August 12th, last Friday, she was declared legally dead in the state of California. She could not function off a ventilator, brain dead, so on. And as of Monday, they had found, they were keeping her on the ventilator for the idea of actually donating her organs. They had found donors. So as of Monday, the ventilator plug was pulled in, and she is now what anybody anywhere would recognize as dead. Anne Heche does not have a really deep nerd oeuvre, but she is probably best known for the 1998 remake of Psycho. And she is possibly well known for the one season sort of supernatural thriller series Dig, which is on your screen right now, which also starred, or which primarily starred, Jason Isaacs. Sort of an archaeologists find weird things in an archaeological dig, kind of like if they made a series out of the first 5 minutes of The Exorcist. But, and I honestly didn't know this until I was looking through her IMDb listing, she's done a number of bits of voice acting, including she was the voice of Lois Lane in the DC animated movie Superman Doomsday, which is on the screen right now. And this I completely forgot. I remember watching the series and thinking about this, but she was the voice of Suyin Beifong, seen here in the closer of the two. That's her half-sister Lin on the other side. Suyin was Toph Beifong's daughter, and the founder of the, well, Earthbender, but particularly Metalbender city, Zaofu. a pretty important secondary character in The Legend of Korra. So she definitely has a fair amount of nerd credits to her name, and it's very sad news. It is, of course, extra sad because, she apparently had a great deal of cocaine in her system. This seems to be completely self-induced. A tragedy in the actual term tragedy, something that is brought upon by oneself that could have been avoided. So condolences to her friends, her family, whoever, or whatever status they currently had as connected people. She was once Ellen DeGeneres' partner. So, it's very sad for an awful lot of people to see her go. Frankly, if you like political satire, I think her best role is the movie Wag the Dog with Robert De Niro. It's not nerdy at all, has nothing to do with nerd stuff, but go watch that. Rerum Trading, welcome to the show. Third like. That's assuming that Luminouses were likes, but sure, I'll take it. Anyway, so yes, very sad news and very tragic news. The death at the age of 53 of Anne Heche. All right, moving on to much better news. So the Television Academy already put out what it calls the winners of its juried categories. And these are things like, pardon me, folks, like animation, costume design, hairstyling, things like that. On your screen right now is, of course, Jinx from Arcane, the amazing Netflix animated series about the characters of League of Legends. Arcane took 3 animation awards. The episode The Boy Savior went to, and I'm going to butcher these names because 2 of them are clearly French. It was a French studio that did almost all of the work, and I have no idea how to properly pronounce what to me would be Anne Laurie Toe, and so I'm assuming it's going to be like Anne Laure Toe, as color script artist. The episode Happy Progress Day, Julien Georgel, art direction, and the episode When These Walls Come Tumbling Down, Bruno Cucino, I'm assuming that's pronounced like it would be here or in Italy, background designer. There are other, The Boys Presents Diabolical took an award for a storyboard artist, but the one that I'm kind of surprised did not get even more, the episode Hibaro from Love, Death, and Robots Volume 4 got an award for Alberto Mielgo for character designer, but Mielgo was director, right? I mean, Mielgo did everything practically on this particular episode. If you have not seen this, all of the episodes within Volume 4 are pretty good. Hibaro is transcendently amazing. As a piece of anime, as an exciting story, it's, if you have Netflix and you have not watched it, I believe it's the last episode in Volume 4. Even if you skip over all of the other really good, well, they range from good to really good episodes in Volume 4, watch that last one. Watch Hibaro. It is just incredible. And again, I'm kind of surprised that Mielgo didn't win a lot more awards for that. Character designer, absolutely. The character designs, again, look at that. It's just outstanding. But good for him, good for everybody involved with Arcane. Let's hope it doesn't take another 6 years to get the next season of Arcane. But speaking of next seasons and connected to these Emmy Awards, Your whole comment is cut off a little bit here, Ivan, so give me a second to stretch this window out so I can see the whole thing. Ivan says, I thought there were only 3 seasons of Love, Death, and Robots. You are correct. I am actually getting ahead of myself by one topic and, 6 months to a year. And that is the second topic. We're going to leave this right back up here because it is that Love, Death, and Robots has been renewed for a 4th, they call it volume, because I guess these are supposed to be like books of stories. In Deadline's article here, they call it a season because it's really a season. But it has been renewed for a 4th season. This was announced back on Friday, also on the 12th. And I am very excited for this. Of course, there's no specific information of exactly when we're going to get it. There was a pretty long gap between season 2 and season 3 because of COVID. COVID concerns in a work environment like this are lesser than they were during the production of Volume 3. But who knows what that'll be like. Again, I've got reporter friends who came back from DEF CON and are now just dozens of them swimming in COVID. Gen Con 2 weekends ago. I'm going to wait to see how many of my friends who were at Fan Expo Boston this weekend, which I missed, will have COVID. Ivan, better not be you. I saw your pictures. Great mashup, by the way. That was well done. If you don't get if you haven't seen it, I don't know if you've got your pictures up on the Arkham Ghostbusters, but Ivan did a wonderful Ghostbusters 4th Doctor Who mashup. Really good. Anyway, Ivan, thank you. Got a lot of compliments, as you should have. That was well done. You do some really interesting mashups. I think that might have been my favorite. So we will be getting a 4th season of Love, Death, and Robots. I hope it will be a little bit longer than this last season. They did drop down in the number of episodes, again, because of COVID, I'm sure. But they were also more consistently high quality, I thought. And check out my review on nerdcaliber.com. No, it's not on nerdcaliber.com. It is on YouTube. It was I can't remember when. I would assume when it dropped, so late May. Or early June or whatever. I think it was late May. It was our Full Fat Spoiler Chat episode on YouTube from around that time. So yeah. We will be getting a Love, Death, and Robots Season 4. Awesome. Give Alberto Mielgo anything this person wants. Anything. To get at least one more episode in the next season. Yeah. Again, if you haven't seen it, if you've got Netflix, watch Season 3. At least that last episode, Hibaro. It's just fantastic. Luminous with mask up emoji. Yeah. Mask up, folks. All right. Our next topic is... This is, of course, an image from the original Wizard of Oz. The news is that Warner Brothers has tapped Kenya Barris to write and direct they're calling in this article in Deadline, a reimagining of The Wizard of Oz. Barris is the creator of the TV series Blackish. He is currently in post-production of what will be his feature directing debut, a movie called You People. Co-written with Jonah Hill, who also stars in it, along with Eddie Murphy, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Lauren London, Nia Long, and David Duchovny. That sounds pretty funny. I like this idea. The Wiz, which was a reimagining, predominantly a very black-centric, ethnic-centric reimagining of The Wizard of Oz as a Broadway play and then ultimately a movie, was brilliant, was fantastic. It was a wonderful musical. I mean, the music, Ease On Down the Road, is still one of the best Broadway songs. So it can be done. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever to keep it, a white girl from Kansas. You can reimagine where they start, just like The Wiz did, and who the lead character is, and all of that. So I'm on board with this. I think this is a great idea. It's just been announced as an exclusive on Deadline, so they have inside information. So it hasn't been announced. It was just reported on Deadline. So no idea when this would happen. Assume it does ultimately make it to, fruition, and Warner Brothers doesn't put it on a shelf like Batgirl. Sorry, I got a little angry there. Ivan, it's only a matter of time before Wicked gets adapted for the big screen. Wicked got adapted for the big screen. Right? Since I happen to have IMDb open right now, or is being, well, I know it has been, I'm pretty sure. I've got two links. That was a TV series. It is in production, scheduled for 2024. Directed by John Chu, starring Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. Oh, yes, please. Wow. So there you go. I could have sworn that already made... I guess not. So 2024, you get to see Wicked, Ivan. I guess we all do. Thanks for that comment. Made me look up some interesting news that I didn't know about. I'm assuming we must have covered this when it was announced. We've got so many Disney fans, fantasy fans, L. Frank Baum fans in our team this must have made, when they first announced it, the show. I just don't recall talking about it. Where are we here? Oh yeah, we are on, of course, this new reimagining of The Wizard of Oz. So I don't know when it's going to happen. It would be kind of funny to see it happen in 2024, either right alongside the release of Wicked. Luminous, are you thinking of the Sam Raimi Oz movie? You know what? I think I might be. Yes, because that was the one that had Mila Kunis in essentially a Wicked type role, correct? Luminous. I must be thinking of that one. The one with James Franco and so on. Anyway, we'll keep you updated on this Wizard of Oz reimagining as we hear more stuff about it. Now, if you haven't seen this trailer, go check it out, folks. This is one of the many just real quick, amazing little snippets in the teaser trailer for the upcoming Netflix series, Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. We know when it's going to premiere now. We have a trailer that shows off some of the amazing creatures. It's Del Toro. You know there's amazing creatures. It will be debuting October 25th with two, they call them tales, 2 episodes. And then it will run for the next 4 days. It will not drop as a standard Netflix all at once to binge, but it's also not going to be weekly. We'll get 2 right out of the gate, 2 episodes or 2 tales, and then we'll get more every day for the next 4 days. This is a really interesting take. I can see kind of why they're doing it. One, from what I've read, this is kind of an experiment on Netflix's part to see how they can handle different distribution models, or different release models, I guess would be the correct way. And they've, I'm sure they could do, or actually they do currently with anime. They do weekly standard release models. And so this gives them something that they can do that's sort of in between and see whether or not, a almost binge, almost weekly model works for them. And I think this is a really interesting idea. I'm not averse to having it compressed like that and not be weekly, like say if this was on Amazon. But I'm also, not averse to it being stretched out from a binge either. I would gladly binge it, but I also kind of like the idea of getting that anticipation of, oh, there's another episode coming up. There's another episode coming up. 8 stories in total. So, the Dreams in the Witch House, which is what that image, I'll bring that back up here, which is what this is from. Graveyard Rats, Lot 36, Pickman's Model, The Autopsy, so Dreams in the Witch House based on a Lovecraft short story, Graveyard Rats based on a short story by Henry Kuttner. Yes. Golden Age science fiction writer. Unless you're a real hardcore science fiction fan, you probably don't know that name. Lot 36, based on an original story by Del Toro. Pickman's Model, as I already mentioned. Also a Lovecraft story, The Autopsy, based on a short story by Michael Shea. The Murmurings, based on another original story by Del Toro. And The Outside, based on a short story by Emily Carroll. And The Viewing, written by Panos Cosmatos, who did Mandy, the Nicolas Cage movie, and also directed, and will be directing that, The Viewing. Ivan, just got in there just before I said it. Yes, Pickman's Model is also Lovecraft. Check it out. If you're at all a Del Toro fan, all of the directors, these are all directed individually by different people. I think Del Toro does one. All of the directors are obviously going to put their own stamp on this, but it looks so much like a Del Toro product. So go check out the trailer if you're any kind of a Del Toro fan or a horror fan or a dark fantasy fan or any of that sort of stuff. I really like it. I'm very excited about this, and I'm kind of excited about trying out this new distribution model. See how it affects my viewing habits, if it does at all. All right, folks. Since it's just me, this is going to be a pretty short show, and we're about to get into the last topic. It was, of course, the thumbnail topic. It is about Ezra Miller, but I am absolutely stunned that it is a good news topic this week. So we were originally going to do this topic on the fact that apparently Warner Brothers has known where Ezra Miller is for pretty much the entire summer because they have been filming reshoots of scenes for the upcoming movie The Flash. And I was all set to just rip Warner Brothers a new one for, again, not really doing the right thing by any of the people with Miller or by Miller themselves. But whether it was Warner Brothers putting the pressure on or Miller's agent or Miller's representation people or all of the above, this just dropped late last night. Ezra Miller has said that they are seeking treatment for, quote, complex mental health issues. This is was broken by Variety. A spokesperson for Miller delivered the statement or sent a statement to Variety about this. And Miller says, quote, "Having recently gone through a time of intense crisis, I now understand that I am suffering complex mental health issues and have begun ongoing treatment. I want to apologize to everyone that I've alarmed and upset with my past behavior. I am committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage in my life." So the wild speculation theories are going to just start dropping like flies. Did Warner Brothers actually say, get help or we are going to fire you from this and reshoot the whole thing? Did they not have to say that? Was it a much more gentle and like, look, you've got to get help? Was it the fact that criminal charges essentially in his hometown, in their hometown, came down, the burglary charges for stealing alcohol from somebody else's house? It was that the final straw that broke the camel's back, as it were. Mr. Krakowian, welcome back to the show. Since it's just me tonight, we're actually wrapping up with our last topic, and that is about Ezra Miller is finally seeking professional help, getting what they describe as ongoing treatment for, again, what they describe as complex mental health issues. We have both railed at the inaction or the seeming inaction of WB, of other people on this show before around Miller's activity, and not that Miller's ever going to listen to this or anybody else associated is, but begged for people involved to get them help. And enough articles out there apparently about how they might be replacing Miller, WB might be WBD might be replacing Miller, or enough people were just talking about how it could work, that maybe that's what got Warner Brothers executives to finally start putting a lot more pressure. Or again, maybe, like I said, it was just the arrest charges, and Miller didn't want to have a warrant delivered to him and have him and be arrested. Will they turn themselves in to the Bennington police in Bennington, Vermont, to at least start the ball rolling with these charges of felony burglary for, again, stealing a bunch of bottles of alcohol out of somebody else's house? I really hope so. If this is a PR dodge to, just glad handing, I'm getting help, and nothing is actually really happening, and they do not do the things they need to do, like go to Bennington and face these charges, like really get the word out about what's happening with Gilbert Iron Eyes, the native that they took, that they accepted the accompaniment of, however you want to put it, from their home and off their reservation. There are a lot of things that Miller needs to deal with and address. This is a really good sign that these things might be properly addressed, and it's a really good sign that the first thing that they're saying is that they have mental health issues and are getting treatment for those mental health issues. I just, fingers crossed this is legit. Fingers crossed that it works. Ezra Miller is a talented young actor, and I really don't want to see a replay of say, some of the worst examples of an actor ruining their career and lives, and potentially the lives of other people, that we've seen since, like the Fatty Arbuckle days. I don't want to see that happen to Miller. I don't want to see that happen to the people around Miller. Regardless of whether or not the Flash movie comes out or what. If it comes out and it's pretty interesting, great. If it comes out and Miller really isn't doing better or trying to do better, then this is clearly just, PR. It's just a spin. Disaster management control. Or disaster control management. Or whatever the phrase is. Anyway. Again, fingers crossed this is legit and Miller really gets the help they need and the people around Miller get to feel safe. So that's it, folks. That is the end of the show. Thank you, everybody in the chat. It was a great chat. For speaking up and voicing your opinions on the things that are going on that we talked about. And with our usual, please do check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/nerdcaliber. We'd love to have you look at it, and if you would like to, love to have you be a patron. We do use that those funds to help us get to other cons. As I said, I was not at Fan Expo Boston. Life, happens. But our next con is, if you happen to be going out to Emerald City Comic Con this coming weekend, Dave Brewer will be out there covering it for us. We'll have people down at Dragon Con. I think my next con I know my next con is Pop Cult Anime Con on the 27th and 28th. Manny and I will be there. We will be providing, cosplay photography studio services. We'll have our backdrop and everything set up. And if you're going to Pop Cult at the Westin Waltham, come by, get our photos. They will be, as they are when we do these sort of deals, on our site and on Pop Cult Anime Con site. And then it's Granite Con, and we'll have people at Colossal Con East, and it's the fall, and everything gets crazy. So we will see you at one of those upcoming cons. Wear a mask if you're going to a con. It's sad and hilarious that my feed on the Monday after any weekend is, I got COVID from blank con. Oh, I was at blank con and I'll get, Ivan, any chance you'll be at Silver Scream? No idea. What is it? Let me know. I'll extend this goodbye a little bit longer. It is, that would be absolutely no, Ivan, because that is the same weekend as Pop Cult Anime Con. So unfortunately not. I will not be at this event. I'll check it out though. I have no idea what it is. It's in Danvers, so yeah, literally right there. So I'll check it out and see if we can get a team member there, but I have no idea what it is. So thanks for the heads up, Ivan. I'll look into that. And we will see you at an upcoming show. We'll see you at an upcoming con. Please, everybody, stay safe out there. Please try to stay relatively cool. It's, thank God, knock wood, cooling off at least in the evenings. HorrorCon, hoping it replaces Rock and Shock. Does Rock and Shock need to be replaced? You know what? Message me. Let me know what's going on there. We will see you at an upcoming show, at our next Nerd Week Live, or